out several places. Big airliner, chickens flying everywhere around the plane. Couldn't feel much finer. Coming in Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Ah, don't check my bag if you please, Mr. Customs Man. Man with a ticket to Mexico, he couldn't look much stranger. Walking through the hall with his things, all father said it was a ranger. Coming into Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Oh, don't check my bag if you please, Mr. Customs Man. Woman's walking on a moving forward, tripping on the escalator. Freaked out because she knows the man, yeah, the man, he's already made her. Coming into Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Oh, don't check my bag if you please, Mr. Customs Man. Chickens flying everywhere around the plane. Couldn't feel much finer. Coming into Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Oh, don't check my bag if you please, Mr. Customs Man. Man with a ticket to Mexico, he couldn't look much stranger. Walking through the hall with his things and all, smiling, said he was a ranger. Coming into Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Oh, don't check my bag if you please, Mr. Customs Man. A woman's walking on the moving floor, tripping at the escalator. Freaked out now cause she knows the man, yeah, the man, he's already made her. Coming in Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Oh, don't check my bag if you please, Mr. Customs Man. Figure something out right there. Any way you go on an acoustic guitar, my God. It's not like a Stratocaster. I know, long shot. Little scuttle button, you know. That's how I'd show it to anybody. about that bag. Anyway, people come in and they go. Hey, how's it going? You want to hear a singing song? Okay. We leave, man. I'm gonna do it in a different key. I gotta do it in a different key. I keep forgetting that. I'll move it up. Nothing over the phone in a big airliner. Chickens flying everywhere around the plane. Couldn't feel much finer. Found it in the Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Oh, check my bag if you please, Mr. Customs Man. A man with a ticket to Mexico. He couldn't look much stranger, walking through the hall with his things and all. Smiling said he was a ranger, coming into Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Oh, don't check my bag if you please, Mr. Customs Man. Man with a ticket to Mexico. Yeah, he couldn't look much stranger, walking through the hall with his things and all. Smiling said he was a Lone Ranger, coming into Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Oh, don't check my bag if you please, Mr. Customs Man. A woman's walking on a moving floor, drifting on the escalator. Freaked out now because she knows the man. Yeah, man, he's already made her. Coming in Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Oh, don't check my bag if you please, Mr. Customs Man. Flying out of nothing over the phone in a big airliner. Chickens flying everywhere around the plane. Couldn't feel much finer. Coming in Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Oh, don't check my bag if you please, Mr. Customs Man. Well, I hear that train coming. It's rolling around the bend. Can't you hear it now? Yeah, but I ain't seen sunshine since I don't know when. Oh, poor Johnny Cash looks down from heaven and wants to stone my head. Yeah. I'm here for some prison, and I hang my head and cry. Oh, Lord, oh, Lord. Now, here we go. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always stay away from electric guitars and never play with guns. But I shot a man in Marino, yeah, just to watch him die. Die, boy, die. I'm here for some prison, yeah, I hang my head and cry. And every once in a while they will have to see house. Isn't that where you throw your hand up? Small truck. As they freed me from this prison, that railroad train was my home. Time now, move it on, move it far down the line. I'd be far from this prison. You know, I'd jump off that son of a gun and I'd be gone. I'd be south of Rio Grande, and I just felt up marching home. Take us home, boys. Yeah, it's not the first time we've repatriated people to their own country. And in the 1930s, jobs being as tight as what they were, state authorities, you know, I'm not certain whether it's federal recognized or not, but there were people who had been living there for generations who were of Mexican descent, who were made to leave and go to Mexico. In other words, their land, everything, gone. That's a historical fact. But you know, the white man wanted to live out there in that desert for some reason. And to this very day, they're building houses out there and ain't got water put into some of them. Look it up. Where this one developer built all these houses and they ain't got no water for them. But they got nice houses. There's a YouTube video on it. I think it's such a hoot. Those people were crazy. You can't. Lizards live and rattlesnakes live in the desert. Human beings should live where it's more hospitable. I'll put it like that, where it is more hospitable, where the environment. I mean, ideally, I'd like to be down there, maybe along the peninsula, just shy of the, whatever it is, panhandle of Florida. Florida Panhandle, is that what they call it? The northern part of Florida. That's where I'd like to be. And then I just spend my summers inside, behind the comfort of the air conditioning. the beach at night if I was in proximity of it. When you're out here in rural America, and that's why all these people have gone crazy in their lives, I guess. I'd like to see a change, and the change is slow to come, and you don't get it overnight. And the very idea these people think it's going to happen overnight are lunatics. And I hate to be that mean about it, but it's nonsensical. I mean, when you kind of apply common sense to it, you can't expect China to doggone bow to that man. I'm going to tell you, they're proud people, and you don't approach proud people like that. It's called, you disrespect them right off at that, and you are going to be disrespected. They're not going to respect you at all. The United States has had a problem with their Secretary of State, and I don't mean, I have sisters only, no brothers. But having grown up with only sisters, I know they're proud, and if they can do. But with that said, when you're dealing with a culture, and the culture is the whole thing. There's two different cultures, and trying to communicate, with them. You do not send them what they consider to be a subordinate. They can, they don't want to hear from them. They just do not. The Muslim men do not respect that. And they were disrespected all the way up to RC. And I think until through Trump. And Trump finally put a man there. No, wait a minute. Obama had John Kerry. Yeah, that's right. John Kerry was the first one in 16 years. So it's right long time we had women in Muslim people's faces. As they handled Bosnia and Kosovo and Afghanistan after the Russian invasion. See, we had Donald Rumsfeld, who was part of Nixon's, not Nixon, but Reagan's administration, in pictures with Osama bin Laden when the Afghans formed the Taliban and run the Russians out of their country. They had taken over, had invaded and taken over the country. They ran them out. That's been, that was back in the mid 80s. And in Rumsfeld's, they're all in when the nationalities, the majority of those people from Saudi Arabia. And here we are, still buddy, Saudi Arabia. And they just doggone back to back with Russia. It seems like there's a segment of our political stratosphere that wants to go the way in with Russia. And that can only be for one reason, and that's a long-term deal where they know that inevitably that they're going to deal with China one way or the other, and maybe even India and Pakistan and South, and those people. We were looking at one more heck of a doggone thing going down that's going to take out, what I feel will be the majority of the population. COVID wasn't a biological attack. I don't know what else to call it, because the effects of COVID, they don't want to really inflame the situation, because the government, people are so sensitive about the word COVID, because the numerous pictures and numerous things are going to flash into one's mind when the word is said. it's the same as if you say the word Trump. You got reporting on. I mean, where you get your programming. And that's what I mean. Like a computer, your program. There's only four sources in the United States for news that's controlled and can be shut down by Donald Trump tomorrow. He can have them go over and they have them cut it off. And that would leave it to the local and all your local news that you see. You see local news over the internet, or if you depend on it like that, then you're putting yourself in the you're putting yourself in a position to be taken advantage of, in the sense that you will be uh, consuming propaganda, and that's not going to do you or anyone else any good at all. Because that's what they want to do. They want to tell you what to think, and they want to take away people's ability to think for themselves, and they just want them to follow this narrative, and then there's no consequences for any actions that they've taken. It's something that's going on within our society, and and, and will be dealt with. And that's what I'm fearing. And it's kind of kind of like George Orwell, 1984. I mean, you can turn on. You got white hat hackers. I've listed a few of them. What they can't do to someone's home computer is probably more limited what they can do. I swear, it amazes me with some of the stuff that they pull off, busting up these rings, going in, painting their webcams, and telling them what color shirt they got on. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. You got several good history channels on here where it's 5 minutes long. I mean, you just hit your fast forward button twice, and it cues you through the intro, and then you find out what it's about. And then you're out of there and gone to the next one. But you can binge watch that. That's pretty good. I recommend that. He's a he's he's a historian and a history professor. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. But he does it in character from time to time. Period costume, something like that. Let's see here. I was playing guitar. I got to talking about when they all the way from Reagan to Bush to Obama to Curry, and how you disrespect Muslims by putting a woman in their face, expecting her to tell them what she wants them to do, expects them to do in order to get along with us. Boy, that had to be hard pill to swallow. Heck, John Kerry got Iran to let us put cameras and their doggone facilities to watch them enrich the doggone or enriching the stuff, because they have to run it in centrifuges. They let them install cameras in there. That's people don't do anything but assume the worst. And I know after World War II, look up the United States, Great Britain, France, and how they went. Now we tried to. That's why we went to Vietnam. We was trying to reclaim in the name of fighting communism, you know. And Ho Chi Minh, he helped Americans in World War II, and Americans fell on Chiang Kai-shek's side, and that's what out Mao Zedong should have been. Oh God. Oh, mama. Okay, I want to sign it off here for the night. Save this thing, lock up my commentary, and book it in a political section. Opinions and blogs. Thanks for tuning in and watching. Okay.